And my last example, we are using substitution. I notice I do have a system of linear equations. I want to stress once again, the goal is to isolate the variable. When I say isolate the variable, you have one variable by itself on one side of the equal sign in order to substitute 5x minus 2 in for y into the second equation. And once again, I ask myself, how do you change an equation with two variables, y and x, into an equation of just having one variable? And I will want to state that we do that by substitution. So writing down the second equation, the equation that does not have the variable isolated, I know that y equals, so this y in the second equation equals 5x minus 2. So I have 3x plus 2, but I know that y equals 5x minus 2. And bring down the rest of the equation. Now we are simplifying from left to right, solving the equation from left to right, with those 5 rules. Distribute, combine like terms. Make sure you have these memorized. We will quiz on this at any point. There could be a quiz on these since we have been studying these for an entire 9 weeks now. The third rule would be variables on the left. And the fourth rule, constants on right. My final rule, multiply or divide. So from looking at this equation, I notice if I have any parentheses, I am of course distributing. So I distribute the number on the outside of the parentheses to everything inside of the parentheses. So this is a positive 2 times a positive 5x. Positive times a positive is a 10x. Now I'm multiplying a positive times a negative 2. Positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times 2 is 4. Bring down everything else in my equation. Once again, this is a positive 10. So I now have distributed. Looking on to my second rule, combine like terms, I look on both sides of the equal sign, and on one side, I notice that I have like terms I have 2 x's. So in order to combine them with this addition sign, I'm just simply adding 3x and 10x. 3x plus 10x is 13x. And I'm bringing down everything else in my equation. Therefore, my third step, variables on the left. I look and find my variable. My variable is x. I notice it is on the left side of the equal sign. Therefore, I may move on to my fourth step, which states constants on the right. I pick out my 2 constants, which is 22 and negative 4. 22 is on the right, however, negative 4 is still on the left side. In order to bring negative 4 to the right side, I will do the inverse of what they are doing. They are subtracting negative 4, so I will simply add 4. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I must do to the other side of the equal sign. Negative 4 plus 4 cancels out to give me 0. So I have, bring down what I have not used, 13x equals, add 22 plus 4, which is 26. And my last step would be to multiply or divide. I look at and see what they are doing to x, and they are multiplying 13 times x. Therefore, I must divide by 13. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I must do to the other side of the equal sign. 13 divided by 13 cancels out, leaving me with just x. And then, if I divide 26 divided by 13, that will give me 2. And 13 divided by 13 divided by 13, I divide both of these by 13. 13 divided by 13 is 1. Or 2 over 1 is the same thing as just 2. So now I have solved for x. However, I have to solve for both variables. So I will plug in 2 for x in either one of these equations, preferably the easiest, simplest. So I will choose my first equation being y equals 5x minus 2. So I know that 2 equals x. So from left to right, I'm solving for y. And I have 5 and my x equals 2. And I'm just simply simplifying from left to right. Y equals 5 times 2 is 10 minus 2. Once again from left to right, 10 minus 2 is 8. I have solved that y equals 8. So now when I write that as an ordered pair, I have it being xy being 2, 8. Well, of course we have to check. Writing down these two equations. And then I will plug in x and y, the numbers I solved for x and y, into both equations to see if one side does in fact equal the other. Excuse me. So I have that y equals 8 and that x equals 2. Bring down on my left side 8 equals, now I'm just simplifying from left to right. 5 times 2 is 10 minus 2. Bring down what I have on the left, which is 8, and 10 minus 2 is 8. Therefore, 2,8 is a solution to this first equation. However, 2,8 must be a solution to both equations. So when I go and plug in for my second equation, 2 in for x and 8 in for y, and simplify from left to right, 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 8 is 16. Bring down what I have on the right side of the equal sign. 6 plus 16 is in fact 22, and 22 bring down on the right side equals 22. Therefore, the solution ordered pair 2,8 is a solution to the system of linear equations.